Nail friends, I'm back with another requested video on how I apply my tips. When choosing your tip, if you can't find the perfect size, it's better to size up than size down, because if you size down, your nail will pop off. If you have to size up, just file the sides of the tip till it fits your nail. Then I lightly buff my natural nail to get the shine off the top half and apply step 1 or dip base. I use this as my glue to attach the tip. When placing the tip, press down with a lot of pressure just to make sure you have no gaps in between your nail and the tip. If you have any air bubbles or gaps in between your nail and the tip, moisture could build up and cause your nail to turn green. As you guys can see, I'm using lots of pressure, making sure there's no gaps in between the tip and my nail, and checking my sidewalls, making sure they're pressed down as well. I then apply a little more dip base around the edges just to make sure everything stays intact. I then use a middle tool to press down along the side of the nail and make sure it's glued on properly. It could be any metal tool, like a dotting tool, anything. Just don't use your finger because your finger will get stuck to your tip. Honestly, for me, the hard part is now over. I get such anxiety when applying the tip because so much could go wrong. Like, it could be the wrong size, it could go on crooked, or it could just not hold. Sometimes the glue doesn't hold. I then move on to prep my nail as I normally would, tip or no tip, which means clipping the cuticles and pushing back those invisible cuticles. That's an important step. If you don't push back those invisible cuticles, you will have lifting. When cutting the tip, you want to make sure to go longer than you desire, just because if you go too short, you can't make your nails long again and you'll have to restart the process. Once I get the nail a little longer than I desire, I leave it at that, just because later on I'll file them down to the length I want. The next step is very important. We're going to buff our natural nail and our tip. We're going to buff the shine off our natural nail, and when buffing the tip, we're going to buff a lot more just because we want to blend our tip to our natural nail. Using a 100-180 grit nail file, I'll use this just on the tip, not on my natural nails, to correct the shape. To finalize the shaping of my nail, I'll use my Bonafide glass file. I'm seriously in love with this glass file. It's very precise and gentle enough to use around your natural nail. 100% recommend, and I'll tag them down below in case anyone's interested. Now that the filing and buffing is done, we can start our dipping. For dip 1, we're going to apply dip base just along where the nail and tip meet and dip into clear once. For the second dip, we're going to go a little past that all the way up to the tip and dip in clear again. And I'll have a little drawing so you guys can see exactly where I applied the pro base. For the third dip, I focused more on the nail bed, not all the way down to the cuticles. I'm just trying to build an apex, and I went all the way up towards where the tip and natural nail meet and dipped. Again, there'll be a picture showing exactly where I applied my pro base. Again, we do not want flat nails. It just doesn't look right. It looks like chiclet gums. I don't know. We want to build a small apex. It just looks better. For the fourth and final dip, we'll be doing the full nail. Now that the dipping is done, we'll activate and start our buffing and shaping of the nail. I don't know what's going on. This is the second manicure in a week that I actually hurt myself when cleaning my cuticles. Usually at this point, I'll go in with my efile and be done in a minute or so with the shape correction. But for this video, I'm making it a point not to use my efile throughout the whole video, just because a lot of people ask me if it's possible to achieve nice nails without one, and I want to prove to you guys that it is possible to achieve your own nails at home without an efile and have them still look good. You do have to go in and correct your shape once more, just because dipping causes buildup along the sides and you do lose a bit of your shape. As you work on your nail, you want to go over it with your thumb or any other finger just to make sure you don't feel any lumps on your nail. If you do, you have to continue buffing. So that's it, guys. I have the length I want, the shape I want, the nail is smooth. I'll now apply peel base and start dipping with the color I want. Thanks for watching.